sábado 5 de septiembre 2020. Hoy tenemos a Evelyn Brito, Bodega Makeover. Algo diferente, algo nuevo, una nueva hermana que tenemos aquí en este Bodega Nation, donde queremos traer valor a las bodegas y traer cosas nuevas. Evelyn es una pionera, ella es productora, ella es directora de entretenimiento, de películas, de documentales. Evelyn Brito. Ella también es de Nueva York. Hablaremos de eso y hablaremos de su super proyecto Bodega Makeover. Bienvenidos, sábado 5 de septiembre de 2020. Hola Bodega. ¿Y bailando un chingo o qué?
Ay, qué rico eso.
¿Tú sabes algo? Nosotros estamos en la Season 1.
Season 1.
No me lo inventé. Entonces, vamos con un break en algún momento a final de año por un par de días y vamos a entrar a Season 2. Y te voy a traer una música mejor.
O sea, que ya tú me estás dando un preview de lo que va a pasar.
No se lo diga a nadie.
No.
Secret.
Es un secret. Ok, pues yo me imagino que eso va a ser como para noviembre, mi fiesta patria, como voy a estar en fiesta patria y Panamá y todas esas cosas, voy a descansar y después empezamos Season 2. Ok.
Está bien.
Dime algo, José.
Cuéntame.
¿Viste el sábado pasado?
¿Qué pasó el sábado pasado?
Oh my God. Yo no sé, pero yo estaba súper. A mí me encantó. No sé.
Qué desorden.
¿Cuántas personas? Bueno, yo prometí que antes de empezar a hablar, porque a veces nos vamos en tantas cosas que tenemos que hablar y hoy tenemos súper show con esa chica que pues que vamos a estar hablando de cosas con Evelyn, que vamos a estar hablando de cosas súper buenas.
Sí.
Le tengo que dar gracias a toda esta gente que se conectaron, todas las asociaciones, tanto como Gerardo, como Uva, como Radamé, como Fran Marte. Oh my God, toda esa gente que hicieron ese show realidad, que nos apoyó en todas las cosas y de verdad nosotros nos sentimos, yo personalmente que estaba llevando a cabo ese show, me siento de verdad súper contenta de saber que hay mucha gente que apoya a mybodega online y tenemos que seguir. Ese es el primer trade show y le prometemos un segundo mucho mejor que eso. Así que ya saben, mi gente, eso no es el último ni el primero, así que vendrá mucho más trade show. José, tremendo trabajo.
Sí. Aquí estoy poniendo para los que pueden ver, los que no están en podcast, un poco las compañías que nos ayudaron. Sí. Increíble. Yo creo que es un formato, como dijo alguien, novedoso, nuevo, necesario. Y yo diría que hasta es el mejor formato para bodegas. O sea, un trade show generalmente, una feria comercial, vas a un centro de convención, tienes que sacar tiempo de tu trabajo para ir allá. Y yo creo que este formato digital nos permite tener muchísima audiencia, no simplemente el día del trade show, pero también la gente ha ido visitando en esta semana que ha pasado los diferentes videos. Y yo creo que eso es un valor también que tenemos. Por ejemplo, mira.
Y José, en pura pandemia, poder traer a capítulo todas esas compañías que nosotros como bodegueros y bodegueras usamos, eso ha sido tremendo. Sí. Hay muchas cosas que yo como bodeguera aprendí en ese show. Productos que no tenemos en el shelf. O sea que es algo importantísimo. Así que un thumbs up para todas esas compañías que nos apoyó, que vamos a tener tremendo programa que tenemos. Así que ves, Season 2 va a ser tremendo.
Mira, aquí yo quiero mencionar varias compañías y más o menos comentar. Nestlé, muchas gracias por participar. Ellos fueron los primeros. David Shaw. Yo creo que ahí nos enseñaron muchísimos productos que quizás tú vendes, pero no tienes en la cabeza y es difícil. ¿Dónde vas a comprar? Uno va a Yetro, sí, pero ¿dónde uno puede conseguir algunos otros especiales y promociones? Gracias a David por eso. Luego tuvimos al el Bronx Overall Economic Development Corporation, representando al presidente del Bronx. Fue también muy agradable saber de los servicios que ellos dan. Y claro, UVA. O sea, UVA es el super partner de nosotros. Ellos estuvieron todo el día acompañándonos. Radamés, María, Johnny.
Sí. Le damos gracias porque sabemos que toda esa gente tomaron su tiempo para dedicarnos. Frank, yo sé que él tenía que estar en su propio negocio, pero a veces venía y participaba. Y también nuestra gran familia de Yemen, que también pudieron estar con nosotros. Y fue, de verdad, fue muy bonito poder tener todas esas compañías que están también, que necesitaban que personas escuchaban de su propuesta y eso.
Correcto. Entonces también ahí tenemos, como tú dices, Llama, presentó Abuelito Cheese con Gerardo, muy bueno. El presidente del condado de Brooklyn, y yo creo que hoy vamos a tener 2 brooklynianas, ¿te podría decir eso?
In the house.
Y la gente de Square con una solución que quieren hacer específicamente para bodegas. Vamos a ver cómo seguimos trabajando con ellos. Square. Luego ahí tenemos la organización de Bodega and Small Business Association. Pineapple. Pineapple fue un éxito. Muchísima gente se enteró de Pineapple. Porque Pineapple es la versión nueva de una compañía que mucha gente conoce y que su producto principal es el jugo Rica de República Dominicana.
Tan rico que son.
Sí. Ahí tuvimos a otra dominicana también, bueno, representando a Small Business Service. Aprendimos de WIC, hablamos con la gente del Especialito, que tenemos un programa que queremos hacer.
Chicas tremendas. Tenemos que tenerlas a ellas de vuelta.
Y los muchachos de Hispanic American Commerce Association of New Jersey.
ACA fue tremendo. Sé que todos querían conectarse porque querían dar su participación. Gracias también a cada uno de ellos de estar en el show y poder, bueno, dar su punto de vista como asociaciones, ¿no?
Claro.
Manuel Lebrón también.
Sí. Ahí déjame ver, y la verdad que fue muy bueno, y terminamos con la presidenta del condado de Manhattan. Entonces, sí, eso es muy agradable. Déjame poner algunos mensajitos que nos están mandando. Junior Palma, buenos días.
Buenos días, Junior. Wanda, buenos días también. Josefina Sánchez.
Aquí tenemos a Wanda Karina de Santo Domingo, ella siempre apoyándonos, y bueno, a una que se coló ahí, Josefina Sánchez.
No, Josefina, bienvenida.
Bueno, pues nada, yo creo que es la sustitución de qué es lo que hay. También tuvimos un súper evento el sábado pasado, muy contento con eso. Ya tenemos anunciado el próximo evento, que va a ser, si Dios quiere, enero 30 del año que viene, más o menos 4 meses y 3 semanas, así que
mucho trabajo.
Ahí tenemos. Entonces ahora yo quisiera invitar a nuestra entrevista de la semana. Muy orgulloso de tener entre ustedes con nosotros a Evelyn Brito.
Evelyn in the house.
Good morning. Bodega Nation. Woohoo! Morning, everyone.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm sorry?
I said, how are you?
I'm good, you know. Here in Boston.
I know. You're feeling the chill a little bit. I know.
Yeah. You know, I don't mind the fall, you know.
I know.
Summer's nice, but the fall is nicer.
I know. So we're going to be talking about Bodega Makeover today. Wow, this is exciting.
But first, we have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Evelyn, are you ready, Evelyn?
I'm ready.
One, en inglés, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey, Evelyn, canta. Happy birthday, Carmelia. Cumpleaños feliz.
Muchas gracias por compartir pues mi cumpleaños en el show.
Sí, eso es un poco de cariño para Carmelia, que va a cumplir en los próximos días muchísimos años, como 40 o 35, no sé.
Yo cumplo 15 porque ese número se puede virar, así yo cumplo 15.
I like that.
Bueno, Evelyn, let's start with you. Tell me about your family, your roots. Where are you located right now? What is your life about? Your little family. Tell me about it.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a first-generation Dominican-American, Afro-Dominican American. My parents are from Cibao.
Okay.
Como hablan con la I. So my grandma used to say, come.
Cibao is a region in the Dominican Republic, for those that need to clarification.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know, it just translates to hillbillies. Did you know that?
Really? No, I didn't know.
Cibao means hillbilly. You know, those slapstick, you know, country folks. That's what Cibao.
Yes.
Interesting, right? So I was born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Massachusetts, Boston, Mass. But I would go to New York every summer for maybe all my life. My mom couldn't afford a ticket to Santo Domingo. She's like, go to your aunt to New York. I'm like, okay, you know, close enough. So, you know, I spend it there with my aunt and going back and forth to the bodega.
Oh, okay. That's how the bodega came about, right?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
What do you know about the bodega corners?
Like my childhood, right? Because I mean, every kid grows up in bodegas and or shopping in one. But you know, I think how Mexico started was years and years. My daughter was 2 at the time. She's 10 now. And I moved into this new neighborhood, and my daughter at that time really to vegetables, and so I decided to go to the local bodega there, and I couldn't find anything, and then I walked another block and to another store, and still nothing, and then the third one was a little frustrated because walking for about 20 minutes with my 2-year-old at the time, and she wasn't happy. And so when I went in there, they had vegetables, but in the box, and it was rotten. And so I asked the owner, I'm like, why don't you have produce here? And, you know, they had a broken refrigerator, resource. So I had to kind of take my screaming child to the supermarket. And in my ride there on the bus, I was like, somebody needs to do something about it. And that bodega needs a makeover. And then I said, wait, I can do it. So
that's how we got the Bodega Makeover.
Yes,
right?
Pretty much. That's how the story started.
Tú te ves todo muy elegante en tu bodega. I love that. You know, that is a good shot.
Thank you.
Let me bring Carmelia to the mix. ¿Qué tú crees, Carmelia?
No. Ella me acuerda a mí en mi bodega porque voy con mi flow todos los días.
Yeah, she like these glasses and this eye too.
Trying to look smart. I mean, I am smart.
Una niña inteligente.
I love it.
Thank you. But you know, it took me years to just to get where I'm at right now. because I pushed to Hollywood.
Before you jump into My Bodega Makeover, let's go back a little bit. So you were raised,
Sure.
You were born in Brooklyn, right? And then moved to Boston, and then you were sent to Brooklyn like every summer just to brush your New York English.
my New York English,
Dominican Republic to practice the Spanish, then you were practicing your Brooklyn English, right?
Yeah. I rather say coffee and not coffee.
Coffee.
No. Listen, my mother is listening to this, so you need to explain what is what. Okay, go again. Try it again.
You know, in Brooklyn you say coffee, right?
Coffee.
And in Boston you say coffee. Which one sounds better?
Coffee.
Wow.
So it's that word just stuck with me. So every time I want a coffee, I say coffee.
Coffee. That's a Brooklyn accent. I'm sorry.
Café, dame café. I love it. So family in Brooklyn. Do you go back to Brooklyn frequently, or you are like off Brooklyn right now?
No, I went years ago. No, actually a year ago to visit my son who's in college. He's in Jamaica, Queens.
Wow.
So I was there last year. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And then so Boston is your home, and then explícale a la gente de Nueva York que en Boston hay latinos, you know, tell.
Vamos a ver eso. Hay gente que cree que no.
For Latinos. There's Dominican, there's Puerto Rican, there's people from El Salvador, a lot of people from El Salvador here in Boston.
Yeah. And what part of Boston are you located? Where is your area?
I grew up in Dorchester.
Yeah,
Dorchester, Mass.
For people, you have like the city of Boston in this side. Let me see.
So right. Like Boston is so it's like New York. So New York, you got boroughs, right? So you have boroughs. So Dorchester is like a borough, but we don't call it borough. We call it neighborhood.
Right. It's more like from coming from downtown Boston is southwest, right?
I think so. Probably. Yeah.
But if you take the T, for example, from downtown to Dorchester, would be about half an hour, kind of.
No, depends on which part of Dorchester.
That's what I said. It all depends where you take it from. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Queens is the largest borough, right? Queens,
yeah.
right?
Numbers, right.
It's like that with Dorchester. Bien grande, depending on which side,
So you went to college in Boston, and then you went all the way to the California side, right?
Yeah, I went to college in California. I went to Los Angeles Film School. Yeah, and I got my associate degrees in producing.
How was that, like a Dominicana in LA and stuff? I was going to say that. I was going to say, what a change from Mass, from Boston to Cali. It's a big difference.
It is a big difference. I actually have an aunt there, and I live with her. And so, yeah, people thought I was Brazilian.
I was going to say.
They're like Dominican. It's kind of like, wow, rare.
No, because they see the curly hair and all of that.
Mm-hmm. No, tú eres. Brasileña? Okay.
There are quite a community of Brazilian people from Portugal in Boston area, right?
Yes, in the Somerville area, but that's changing.
Okay.
Gentrification, yeah.
So you went to Hollywood, and then you got in LA your degree, and then what happened after that?
I came back to Boston, and then I couldn't find a job doing what I love to do, which is producing. So I did a lot of stage managing, theater, and then I moved into doing events, but mostly corporate events. It's very similar to producing. So that's where I sort of hone a lot of my skills on, so knowing the corporate world, which was useful.
What would be your advice? Because I have two kids that they like kind of entertainment industry production. They are more into graphic animation and whatnot. But we talk about schools and we talk about opportunities for them as Dominicanos, how to make it. What would you say to a kid that wants to do something in your area? What would be the challenges? Any advice?
My advice is, don't have to go to film school.
Okay.
Everything you have technology available, and you can learn pretty much everything on your own. And it starts small, and keep it simple. That's my advice. Yeah. Film school is, you get your experience and you get to meet people in the industry, but to actually really hone on your craft, I think you can just learn things on your own.
Right.
Because of how technology is changing and is moving so rapidly. So people are, it's faster to do your own, build your own studio, do your own stuff, instead of taking 2-3 years before you could do all of that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not overnight. How many times I kind of revised my story with the Bodega Makeover, lots of time. And it doesn't mean that you lose focus on the vision. It just means that you're mastering your craft and you're, pivoting to whatever the circumstances is in your community. So with COVID-19, I had to pivot.
Right.
I was about to say, how did you surpass that COVID time within your own challenges? In those past months, how did you surpass those days?
With the COVID?
Right.
In Bodega? With the COVID, we hit a lot of challenges. One of the things that we needed to do is the crowdfunding campaign. Because, we needed to start that because things that were free before are not free anymore.
I'm telling you, it's a whole bargain. It's totally different. It's totalmente algo diferente ahora, ¿no?
Yeah, I think I live in Home Depot now because, I'm there all the time. And buying plywood, giving people directions.
I know. That's funny.
Okay, so let's take a break, but it's a break of we're going to listen kind of the pilot for my Bodega Makeover. And then it's going to be about 5 minutes. Hopefully the sound is okay. Watch it, and then we're going to discuss a little bit how to help that project, Bodega Makeover. Okay? So let's listen.
Bodega Makeover.
I'm Jerry Diaz, host of Bodega Makeover. Our mission is to connect community and family through healthier Why do we need a makeover?
This stuff definitely needs a makeover.
Okay.
Kind of outdated, you know.
Well, we got a technical difficulty, I believe. So let me take. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, the sound wasn't working. Hopefully, the people that are online only in podcast didn't stay around, and the people that are watching, at least they saw the video, no sound. Sorry, Evelyn, for that. Yeah, right. But we're going to talk about a little bit of Bodega Makeover, right? Tell us about the project itself, right? And where are you right now? I believe that you have a crowdfunding campaign. Tell me more about the project.
Yeah, so Bodega Makeover is a web series, provides slow improvement in health eating options. So we look at the overall health of the bodega and not just throw in fresh produce, you know, because oftentimes, there's a lot of organizations that are meant well, you know, to help bodegas, but at the end of the day, it's a business, right? And then we need to look at the well-being of the store owner, on education, on, you know, new refrigeration, and all of that. So my job is to pretty much partner, get some sponsorships to support the project and as well as the owner. Because, you know, we don't want to we want to make sure that they are utilizing the resource, and we don't want them to fail. You know, we have to look at the ability and how these organizations can play a role in that.
And then you are going to you have a contract with, I believe, Amazon Prime, that, right? People could watch the pilot, correct?
Yeah, so Amazon has a great platform for filmmakers. So if you're a filmmaker and you have something really good, you can submit it to their Amazon Prime videos. And of course, it takes, you know, you have to be a little tech savvy because it takes a long time.
Okay.
It took them like 4 months to approve it. So yeah, every other week I'm like, so where are we with this? You know, you have to stay on top of them. But yeah, we're really excited with Amazon. I think it's a great platform. And we're really excited for our host, Jerry Diaz. He's a comedian. Mexicano también. From New York.
From New York.
Spanish Harlem.
All right.
Yeah.
But I had a question, Jose, for Evelyn. When I heard makeover, back in my days when I had time to watch TV, because I don't do that long years ago, because being a bodega owner, there's no time for that. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is the bill for the produce and all these things, so you don't have time to sit down and do TV anymore. When I heard the makeover, that reminded me back in my days when I used to Tabata salon. That was that lady who used to take over the salon and break it up and take the owners and do everything all over and give them that energy and that boost to say, you know what, your business has capacity to do this and this and this. So when I heard you, that brought me back to those days. So how do you do it? Let's say me as a business owner. I'm coming towards you. How do I do it?
You know, I think finding out what the needs are. You know, often a lot of bodega owners, they just buy because people are buying the whatever brand it is. So like, okay, you know, if somebody's buying, you know, owl chips, you know, I'm gonna keep buying. I'm gonna keep purchasing owl chips. But you know, my advice to bodega owners is to really get to know your community. You know, because oftentimes, you know, you're so busy and you have a lot of schedule, but find out what they want in the bodega, because oftentimes it's not the owl chips. It may be, you know, it may be something, you know, something else. You know, how do I stand out, especially in New York? There's so many corner bodegas. You know, how do I stand out? What can I contribute to the community? Because if I remember back then, bodega owners used to sponsor a fun baseball teams. Right?
They'll do. I'm close to Brooklyn College, and those kids, they come over. That's where they do their film. They would ask me if they could come and record. You know how many Brooklyn project I'm in. because they want someone to help them with the project, and I will do it because I know they don't have enough funds to do a project, Yeah. So Bodega stand for all of these things, and actually, we're more than family.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys are just center of the community, like the heartbeat of the community. Because when we're waiting for the bus, it's cold outside, we go inside the bodega,
That's it.
Oh, when you're lost, that's the first place to go. Your mom said, "No, I'm not gonna be home. Espérame en la bodega. Y no toca nada."
That's where the kids. It's amazing, and I'm always often saying that to Jose because I'm not often now, but I used to do my 16 hours, and I'm seeing the kids. And when you mention produce and the kids, que su papá le dice, "Dame un guineo, no me le dé dulce." Because they all want candies, and you give them an apple, you give them a banana, and you see how big those kids are getting on you. It's amazing. Jose, I know you have more questions.
Well, yeah, I have actually two more. One is, let me get this straight. So you go to a bodega, then with your resources, you are changing kind of the inside of the bodega, but also you are changing kind of the mentality of offering more healthy options, right? So your focus is also on that, correct?
Yeah. So how we find bodegas is through the nonprofit. So we connect with the nonprofit organization and say, hey, what are the needs? So, for example, Madison Park Development, you saw it in the video, needs in this community. They say, and I say, well, do you have bodegas that you want us to visit? So I would actually go store to store and introduce myself, English or my broken Spanish. I know. Remember one bodega said, "Mira, ¿cuál es que tú me vas a hablar? ¿Me vas a hablar en inglés o me vas a hablar en español?"
Pobrecito, no puede.
So then the next step would be is the demographic, like looking at what the community needs. So we did a survey, and then before we even brought in the design team, so we look at those working with the nonprofit, look at what the need is, because again, it's part of the successful of the bodega store, right? And the owner has to be open to it. Owner wants to see change in the community, and so he has to be open to learning and looking at things differently. So then our next step is our design team. So we look at the structure of the bodega, and we'll make sure that they have a 5-year lease. Some bodegas owners, I think they go month to month. So I negotiate with an attorney to make sure that those leases are extended for 5 years. And then after that, we look at the inventory. And then, because we're not saying to get rid of the cookies, we're just saying provide healthy options, right? So we look at the refrigeration, at their finance, how much they pay for a bill, and then then we get to work.
Wow, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot. Yeah.
We got a question that maybe could be good to my next questions. Is this one? You have a friend, Sulay Mateo. She's a good fan of us, and that is her name online, I guess. But she's Sulay. She's asking, how do you sponsor this? Who is sponsoring this event, this project?
I can talk on Boston. So we partner with Mass General Hospital. So we have a few sponsors. Eversource, a utility company. They're super, super helpful. They provided the educational piece on the energy savings. They also provided refrigeration, which is a big need. All the lighting equipment. Tufts Health Plan talks about the importance of small business with the insurance, health insurance. Mass General really talked about sort of health equity. And then we have like a brand sponsor, which is Vida Coco and Gustelo. So we do count on sponsors to complete the pilot. So, and this will go on to other stores as well. So we'll reach out to corporate companies and brands for their support.
Right. There's this question, no estaba conectado, pero no sé si ya hablaron de cuánto ha sido el costo para hacer una bodega como esta. Él se está refiriendo, he's talking about maybe the bodega that you see in the pilot, right? And, you know, some ideas of the cost of making this happen. Yeah,
I mean, it depends. It depends on how much work it needs. Again, with this bodega in Roxbury, you know, things again like it's for free, wasn't not for free anymore. So, I mean, you can spend, you know, up to $80,000.
It's a big project.
Yeah, it is.
It's a kind of a huge project.
Yeah.
So you need a lot of sponsoring to help you move forward towards the goal, because not every store has the same needs.
Yeah. And not all bodega owners can afford a makeover. You know, that's
right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, banks are not, you know, banks are great, you know, but some bodega owners don't, you know, that's the result to get a loan. You know, why get a loan? You have to juggle so many other things. You know, you can, you know, sometimes bodega owners want insurance, you know, they want to hire people, you know.
Especially now.
Yeah, exactly.
But then right now you are running this crowdfunding campaign. Tell us about it.
So, you know, again, the crowdfunding campaign really covers the cost of things that, again, that was donation, but not anymore. So, you know, we had to build a new countertop. We built a produce countertop, and then display, sorry. And then, you know, other things that, little things that we would need, you know, like the shelves that cover the shelves, some of the flooring. So, you know, it went a long way. And so those are the things that, and materials are not cheap. I learned what a plywood is. And then when I got the plywood, like, no, it's a wrong size. I'm like, oh my God, you know?
So ya saben, a los bodegueros, a los que fueron bodegueros y ahora están en supermercado o están en otra cosa. You know, anyone that would like to support this project, we would love to help Evelyn en esto. So there's a crowdfunding site. You go, you click donate, and you know, just put about $10,000, and that would be okay.
Well, sure, why not? I mean, that's for a good cause.
Right. So we got a question always, and then you need to answer that question. And the question is about el sándwich que más te gusta en una bodega.
Tanta bodega que tú visitas, así que ¿cuál es tu deleite en uno de esos?
So like the only place I like to eat sandwiches is New York. En Boston no hay mucho. Nosotros no hay muchos sandwiches. Pero el que más me gusta era el italiano, pero Dominican style.
Oh, okay.
¿Y cómo es eso? Italiano Dominican style.
Dominican salami. You add Dominican salami.
Porque tiene salami allá adentro.
Ya veo.
O sea, que está hablando de un pan italiano, ¿verdad?
Italian sandwich Dominican style. I love it.
Yeah, we got salami. You got the Italian salami and put the Dominican in.
Got it. No, está tremendo.
And you know my favorite thing to buy at the bodega, and I think only in New York would have it, when the bodegueros used to peel the orange.
We still do.
The little swirl thing, and used to hang it on.
Oh man. that is
I'm like
That is interesting. Dice alguien aquí con salami.
Con salami. Wanda sabe de eso.
Ok, es un sándwich dominicano con italiano, pero con salami. That is Dominican then.
Porque de que tiene salami ya lo han convertido en dominicano.
I mean,
en un cafecito, of course.
Okay. Okay. Está bien eso. Bueno, pues nada, yo quiero darte mucho las gracias, niña, por estar con nosotros. Thank you for this. Yo chequeo todos los días en, Amazon Prime to see if there's something. Hopefully by next year we're going to have the season, running, todo el cariño de dominicano in this Bodega Nation space that we are both together with My Bodega Online and Bodega Makeover, and there are many other initiatives around. So muchas gracias y nos vemos luego.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take